Dr. Santiago González Moreno, nice to be with you. You're a specialist for pseudomyxoma. You work in Spain.
Yes.
And my first question will be, what are actually the indications accepted by oncologists and surgeons for peritoneal disease and IPEC in Spain actually now?
It is really not much different from the known indications maybe in the rest of the world. Pseudomyxoma peritonei and the peritoneal mesothelioma are very well accepted indications for upfront cytoreactive surgery and HIPEC. And these are unquestionable. I think that's very clear all over the country. Colorectal carcinomatosis, especially colon cancer with peritoneal dissemination, with low to moderate volume disease, is getting more and more accepted. And I would say that almost all over the country this is well established now. So that's another indication, usually in conjunction with systemic chemotherapy. So this is, again, another well-established indication. Ovarian cancer is controversial, as it is in other countries. Those of us who perform HIPEC on a regular basis could offer HIPEC to our ovarian cancer patients, both at recurrence and at upfront cytoreduction. But again, this is controversial, and this is always done on the basis of a multidisciplinary meeting evaluation, and sometimes when it is asked by the patient on an individual consent basis. So ovarian cancer is not well established. It's an ongoing, research indication, and comes down to individual patients and individual centers. And gastric cancer with peritoneal dissemination is almost the same. We have the capability of doing it. We ran some research studies where we could put the patients, but I wouldn't say that this is a common indication outside of very specific patients in very specific centers.
Okay, so near the same and in the rest of Europe?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
And what is the organization, national or regional, to treat pseudomyxoma and maybe the other peritoneal disease in Spain?
Mm-hmm. Well, in Spain, we don't have a national policy emerging from the Ministry of Health regarding number of centers needed for peritoneal disease, or how to establish new centers in different parts of the country. The centers emerged on the basis of interest of different surgeons and different centers, and interest of some of us who had trained with pioneers in the rest of the world. So there's not a policy for establishing centers, but we have now about 16 to 18 recognized centers. And what we do have is a national organization, a national scientific organization called GECOP. This is the Spanish group for peritoneal surface oncology that groups all the centers that have proficiency in the management of peritoneal carcinomatosis. These are centers that have trained with experts and that have proven a track record of being able to do this kind of surgery and managing these patients with proficiency. So the group encompasses all these centers and tries to guide the rest of the centers who are trying to establish new programs, tries to proctor and tutor them so they can do it in an orderly fashion.
So this is a specific organization that you progressively input on the country?
Yes, this is a scientific organization. This is a group established within the Spanish Society of Surgical Oncology, and its aim is to make progress and ensure access of all Spanish patients to cytoreactive surgery and HIPEC when they are candidates for this. So what we try to ensure is that all patients will be treated either at one of our centers or that new centers that want to start will do it in a systematic fashion so that this is safe for patients that come to them.
Okay, so the e-learning that we have discussed and that people are looking actually for people from South America,
Yes.
surgeons from South America that want to be trained, understand what is peritoneal carcinomatosis, could be interested to come in Spanish. Did they have possibility? Because the organization is progressively more and more.
Yes.
What did you think about the futures of the surgery in South America, if you know something about that?
Yeah.
Or the relation with Spain and South America? Even you can answer me in Spanish.
Even Spanish? Okay. Nosotros tenemos una relación muy buena con los cirujanos de Sudamérica en base a relaciones profesionales y personales. Yo conozco concretamente situaciones en Argentina, en Brasil, ahora en Colombia, y hay un interés muy grande en toda Sudamérica por hacer este tipo o por ofrecer este tipo de tratamiento. De hecho, tenemos muchos cirujanos de Sudamérica y fellows que vienen a España a formarse en alguno de los grupos de GECOP y esto es una manera de que ellos puedan empezar poco a poco a hacer este tipo de cirugía. Nosotros estamos completamente abiertos a que puedan venir cuando quieran y como según les interese a formarse con nosotros, y nosotros también hemos acudido a diferentes países sudamericanos donde han empezado programas y han pedido nuestra presencia pues para poder empujar y para poder promover este tipo de manejo de pacientes con enfermedad peritoneal. Así que estamos completamente abiertos y de hecho uno de los proyectos de GECOP es que eventualmente nuestra base de datos o nuestro registro de pacientes nacional pudiera expandirse a centros de Sudamérica también.
So they are welcome.
They're more than welcome. They're more than welcome, and we're very happy. We've been, as I said, training fellows with us from Colombia lately, from Mexico, from other places, and actually we do have some of the fellows who trained in Washington Cancer Institute with me when I was with Paul Sugar-Baker is now in Argentina. So we have, I think, a good relationship with different institutes and people, and we'd be more than happy to collaborate with them.
Okay, nice news.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Picard.